Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels. We have, I think you're a four-timer now, fourth timer.
Might
We,
be,
we,
yeah.
we've talked about possibly needing to put together like a five timers T-shirt, like the five timers jacket on Saturday Night Live. I think we've only got one or two people who we owe those to, and they're the people that think that we should have them. So you're one away, Doug. I've got
And
Doug
I think you
Wagner
should
with me
have
tonight.
them.
Yeah. Doug Wagner with me tonight. Always great to see you, Doug. I reached out because you're going back to plastic. You
Yeah,
said
yeah.
you were done with your materials, but you couldn't stay away, so you're going back
But
to plastic.
I think the last time we talked, I even said like, hey, as long as people want to keep buying this stuff and the Image
That's
lets us put it
possible.
out, we will
That's
keep doing
possible. When you weren't actually announcing plush as plush yet, so I
it.
was
Right.
joking that it was going to be wood.
Which is close. Plush wood.
Um, so what took you back to because this is like the origin story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like a double origin story if that's
Oh.
possible. So
Oh,
it's
for him and for her.
yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean
Okay.
what's cool
Just
about
trying to
this
figure out
one?
what the double origin was. Are we
Yeah.
crossing over with vinyl?
So we've got this we're kind of dipping in two different timelines. So we've got
Okay.
Edwin as a serial killer before he meets Virginia,
Okay.
and Edwin is a 10-year-old boy.
Oh.
And so you get to learn like a little bit of like, I mean, obviously there's mom to deal with, from the first one. And and what does a 10-year-old Edwin look like? So there was a lot of fun there in how it leads up to his first kill. So
I had forgotten this pull quote on the plastic volume one, but we were just talking Robert Kirkman off the air, and he said about it, "This is the weirdest shit I've ever read. I love it," and that's pretty much the way to describe it. That's the way to describe Doug Wagner.
yeah, fair.
Weirdest shit I've ever read, and I love it. So we're gonna meet. I don't think I'd known his last name, Stoffgruppen.
Oh yeah.
That's great. Edwin Stoffgruppen. We get to find out about his mommy issues, and then we get to meet Virginia,
Yep.
and killing will ensue.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Because in this one, I mean, if you remember in the first plastic, like Edwin had kind of retired
that's
after
right.
falling in love with Virginia because
Right.
he didn't approve of those kind of actions. Well,
That's
then
right.
he hasn't met Virginia yet, so he gets to kill at will, and he does.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this. Edwin hasn't met his plastic sex doll yet, so he can kill at will because it's
Yes.
the plastic sex doll that doesn't approve of his serial killing ways.
Yep.
Dare I ask where the genesis? Because I think we talked long enough after plastic that I don't know if I actually asked that question because we were probably talking vinyl. What's the genesis of plastic? How do you put that set of ideas together? I have this serial killer and he has this sex doll that he believes is, I mean, it's got a little bit of Lars and the real girl
Oh yeah.
going, except,
Mhm.
except, Edwin's a serial killer. And on some level, Lars always seemed to kind of know that the real girl wasn't a real girl. Also, Virginia isn't as real of a real girl. She's much more of a plastic girl.
Right.
So, I mean, this is probably something we'll learn in this book. So you can't completely tell us how it actually happened, where he starts, I assume, hearing Virginia tell him that he's behaving badly and he needs to be better. But where does Doug Wagner put those things together?
I mean, honestly, what was great about the first one is yeah, I was on a road trip with Brian Stelfreeze and Eric Layton.
Mhm.
And so we're crossing the state boundary into Virginia.
Okay. So
And
that's where her name came from.
that's where her name comes from. And they don't have like every other state has welcome to Utah or welcome to Georgia, whatever it might say. And the Virginia one says buckle up Virginia, which is the last line in the first plastic thing.
Yes, it
And
is.
honestly, the muses dumped almost the entire story in my head the minute I saw the sign. Is like, that's the last thing someone would say to somebody before they all died. And my head just put in like I would, because I kind of put myself in the role and I turn and look, and sitting next to me is a blow up doll because that's just how my brain worked. And from
Okay.
that point
For
on,
a second there, since you said you were on a road trip, I thought there was actually a blow up doll sitting.
no, no,
I'm
no,
like, are
no.
you trying to? Were you guys trying to game the carpool lane? Or?
I mean, I'm not sure Brian and Eric would let me bring a blow up doll. I mean, I would have if they had let me, but it was the most. I mean, this led into it too. That was the craziest road trip I've ever been on. It was like
Okay.
not necessarily hangover level, but it was that
Right.
kind of like, man, this is crazy.
Okay. Were there
Um,
Comic Cons involved or just
oh yeah,
just
yeah, we were going to Baltimore Comic Con from Atlanta.
okay. Okay.
And
Very cool.
just along the way, it was just like one of those like every time we pulled over, there was
Well, that
crazy
I
things
mean that's a I haven't gone that whole stretch of road, but I've done um Charlotte
Yeah. Oh yeah.
from
Heroes Con. Yeah.
well, I haven't been to Heroes Con, but I've been to Charlotte and specifically Heroes Aren't Hard to Find.
Hmm.
As part of a couple of years ago, my wife's spring break and my spring break didn't line up and the podcast was like 6 months old. So I went, I'm going to go on a comic shop road trip for spring break. And she went, you do that, honey. I'll make t-shirts. And she did. I have the ill-advised 22 panels comic shop tour t-shirt.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, I went from Chicago to Columbus to Charlotte to Baltimore, Annapolis, DC, and then I spent like 3 days in New York, and we shot to Scranton, Philly in one of those days, and then
Nice.
I hit Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland, and I think Lansing, Michigan on the way home. So
Yeah.
it was like 22 comic shops in 10 days.
Wow.
Way too much money spent, thankfully, mostly not by me. Um, there are advantages to having friends with more money than you.
Yeah.
So
True.
I know that stretch of road. It's a weird stretch of road. I will agree
Oh
with you.
yeah. Yeah. And you pull off in the middle of nowhere and like some of the things you bump into, that's what we ran into. Is you're like, did I just see a kid handcuffed in the back of a car with a cage? And you're like, should we call somebody? Like,
No, that's the county sheriff.
yeah, yeah. There was some yeah, that was one of the craziest trips, and fun for me because I love
Yeah.
weird shit, obviously. But
I
but
mean,
I had a blast. But it all kind of led into when I saw that sign, my brain was already in this is some of the
already in
craziest stuff
batshit
I've
crazy
seen.
land.
Right.
Okay.
And so the muses that were with me were the crazy ones.
Okay.
They were like, "Hey, let's talk about this idea," and that's where that the whole idea came from, sprung from. It's just a road sign.
How did you then spin it into your three material trilogy?
Well, I mean, we did plastic, which
Right.
did far better than I think anybody except for maybe
Oh,
Kirkman and Eric Stevenson.
it was one of a handful of books that I know at the comic shop I worked at um grew sales. But
Yeah,
like the first issue sold out, but by the third issue we were desperately trying to get second and third printings of the first issue, and by the fifth issue I think we had 20 pulls on
yeah.
it. Um and
So, well,
all starting from like I think the owner ordered like three.
yeah,
So starting from three, within 5 months there were 20 polls.
yeah,
You know, so there are a handful of like word of mouth. I think it got some Reddit love. I've never been the Reddit guy, but there were a couple of guys that came in regularly. They're like, I heard about this on Reddit. Do you have it? And I feel like it was one of them. I've just been scared of Reddit because I've just been scared of most.
If
most like places where large numbers of people gather on the internet, since when I was a kid, people were on Usenet forums, and I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds weird.
listen, dude,
um,
if you can't stay out of a debate, social media and including Reddit are not for
oh
you. Like
yeah,
if you can't control your compulsion to comment, stay away.
and that's pretty much the way that I've treated it.
Yeah.
I did Twitter for a while, and I do Blue Sky now. I keep meaning to learn Instagram a little bit more just for the podcast. I stopped doing Facebook. I mean, I still have the Facebook account and do it for like messages with Facebook friends, but I stopped doing it with any regularity when you stop needing an EDU address to get a Facebook account.
Yeah.
When it was just college kids, that was cool. When it was college kids and their grandparents, not so much. Um, but yeah, forums always, but I've been able to see that the people who can use them as, oh, let's talk about the shit that we love,
Mhm.
or let's go read about the shit that people love without talking about them. Let's just go, oh, gotta go find that. And that I'm saying that there's value that I just never figured out how to get over my own fears to go figure out. Because plastic, I think Donnie Cates' Baby Teeth was coming
Oh yeah.
out about the same time.
Hmm.
And both of those were ones that like flew completely under the radar of most of the mainstream comic people until they blew up
Right.
around issue 2 or 3.
Hmm.
you know, it was fun to watch in real time, which made it fun to, oh, I get to talk to this guy now because that was years ago. Um, yeah. So
Then from
what?
there, like basically, I had a meeting with Eric Stevenson and we were talking about like what's next. And at that point we'd actually pitched like doing plastic, a plastic Death and Dolls kind of like story.
Right.
He's like, I don't think that's what you need to do. I think you need to consider maybe doing a trilogy of books based on this universe. And that's kind of where the material trilogy of, plastic, plush, and vinyl kind of came to fruition. And it still keeps, people keep still buying these books and they keep still doing really well in trade form.
I would hope.
So, we're like, hey, if you guys want to keep reading our crazy nonsense, we'll keep writing it because we love, Daniel and I love what we're doing. We love
Yeah.
this.
Well, and for anybody listening who somehow hasn't read these 3 books, first of all, they're not for everybody. If you're
Oh
going to
no.
be easily offended or don't like gore, um, particularly gore surrounded by like otherwise sweet things, not the book for you.
Yes. I mean, and
Hyper violence, lots
yeah.
of blood, but also oddly sweet, which can be disconcerting sometimes. But for me, at least, in the best possible way. And I'm at your website right now, just looking at the covers of the 3. The other thing that blew my mind is like you upped your game each time. Plastic was weird and crazy, and it has nothing on vinyl.
Yeah.
And plush like broke my head.
Good.
I haven't reread Plush yet because I'm afraid to read it all together. I've still only read it a chapter at a time, a month apart. And I'm certain that that will change.
Yeah.
But that's how much each issue just like broke my head.
But
Again, in the best possible way.
yeah, it's kind of fun to like take something that, like in all 3 books, except, well, I would argue that with Plush, but like the main characters and a lot of the heroes in the books shouldn't be the heroes of a story.
No. No.
So like,
And Plush, it depends on who you consider the hero.
right.
Because really the main character is the one being saved, and it's kind of nice that he gets saved, but I don't know what I mean, the nice thing in all 3 of these books is, as horrible as the quote unquote heroes are, the villains are 10 times worse.
Yes.
So in the choice between the serial killer and the pick one of them, describe
Yes.
them. My head's broken.
Well, I mean, what we wanted to do was take, and this is Daniel and I and how we feel. Like I've always kind of been a little bit, like you said earlier, I'm the weird kid. I've always been the outcast. And, being the weird guy and the outcast, like sometimes you're looking at stuff and you're like, okay, there's the popular kid, but I know that he raped so and so, but yet he's still the popular kid. And so what we want, that's the kind of theme we play with a little bit, right? Like it's like, here's the odd characters in our society that nobody would accept on a normal day.
Right.
The normies, as I like to call them, the normies,
Are
that
also just
all of our villains
patently
are
evil.
normal people, but they're horrible people.
Did you base them on Supreme Court justices?
Oh no, 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 no.
I mean, only half the court. Well, 2/3 of the court.
Yeah, and to be honest, the worst of the bunch weren't in there when we wrote the first two.
That's
So
fair. Well, I mean, is Thomas really not the worst of the bunch?
well, I mean, yeah, that's the that's the quiet one, right? Like that's the Supreme Court that's being the quietest, but might be the worst. It's hard to say.
I actually recently listened to have you heard of the Behind the Bastards podcast?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So I listened to their Clarence Thomas um four-parter, and I'm sitting there going, so wait a minute, what the lesson that the right learned is that if you have a nice sex scandal that you can act indignant about, nobody will ask questions about the person's actual qualifications.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
Because that was the biggest thing I learned. I mean, because I mean, I was young, but I was precocious and relatively political. I remembered a lot of the Anita Hill stuff, and I'd heard all sorts of stuff through the years. Um, what I hadn't really realized is that there's a pretty strong argument that even if he was squeaky clean, he just wasn't qualified.
right.
He'd never been a judge. He'd spent very little time in a courtroom.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's if you can, it's that whole distraction game, right?
Right,
Like it's magic. It's like, hey, look over here while I'm doing this.
right. And particularly, flash forward to Kavanaugh, who also really isn't qualified, but arguably is more qualified than Clarence Thomas,
Hmm.
only by like this much. For people who can't see because we're audio only, my fingers are like a hair's breadth apart. Um, so hey, absolutely, let's talk about this. You're attacking him. You're attacking him. Don't look at his resume. Keep your focus over here. And I'm like, really? So it's like so much worse than we thought, which is why it's awesome to see plush mascots do away with with right-wing idiot sheriffs.
Yeah. I mean, it's the corruption kind of thing. I mean, I think we've all seen it, right? Like the more power a lot of people get, and
Absolutely.
I'm going to say it, especially with white males, we seem to have this problem.
We decided to monopolize the whole
Yes.
absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah. The more power
We're
you get,
like, you
white
want to
male.
bet? Let me show you.
Yeah. It's
You don't
like,
even need absolute power to be absolutely corrupt.
so,
We
it's just kind of, that's the
we
kind of,
missed the some people would have tried to have absolute power and prove that it didn't corrupt them. We're like, no, no, no. You don't need absolute power to be absolutely corrupt.
yeah.
You don't need that much power. You can be absolutely corrupt with just a little bit of power. White men are special.
Well, that's kind of you're kind of getting towards like a not necessarily a purposeful like, hey, we want to hit over the people over the head with this.
Right.
Some of the theme to us was, and even in plush, my main theme was like, would you rather stay in normal society do what your parents tell you to do, marry the girl that cheated on
Right.
you, blah, 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 blah?
Right.
Or would you rather that where the rest of your life is going to be a miserable hell?
Right.
Or would you rather run away with a bunch of cannibalistic furries?
Now, I have to ask, did did you come up with this before or after um all of right-wing media started talking about kitty litter in schools?
Oh, it was way before. Yeah. I mean, I
That's
think
what I
stuff
thought.
came out
So
before it.
it's
Yeah.
your fault.
Yes, yes.
It's
I'll
your
take I'll
fault.
take full blame for kitty litter in
It's
school.
your fault that they somehow convinced themselves that furries like to use litter boxes. I have known many furries. Uh, it's using litter boxes is not a thing.
No, I mean, I haven't tried it, and I do have three cats, so I do have two large litter boxes,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
not, already it's not appealing.
yeah,
So I feel like if I did try it,
I
I'd be
mean,
like, yeah, this isn't for me.
most of the furries I know aren't even like full-time furries. It's more like a cosplay type thing.
Yeah.
It's a bigger deal than most cosplayers. It's something they do a lot. They might do it at home just for fun. They might, but no, I've never met one of them that thought that using a litter box sounded
No,
appealing.
no.
No, no.
I can't imagine it's hard enough to use the bathroom in a furry costume.
Right,
Then throw in you want to put it in a litter box? Like, good
right,
luck hitting that target.
right, right. And also just for just general people to throw out there, because I hate how little investigation it generally takes to figure this stuff out, and or how little logic. Does anybody believe for a second that if there were actual litter boxes in any school anywhere in the United States, Fox News wouldn't have had video?
Yeah.
Why have we never seen a picture?
And I mean,
It's
it's easy to
always
think
I
that.
know somebody who knows somebody, or sometimes just I know somebody whose kids at a school or whatever. Nobody's ever said that they have seen it themselves, and we've never seen a picture in this day and age. That means it's not there.
Yeah. I mean, because you can fake that pretty quickly.
Exactly. And if nobody's even faked it, that means that they know that it's going to be obvious that they faked it.
Yeah. When I had a friend that first told me, and they were pretty convinced that it was true. And I won't lie, I wanted it to be true.
I
And I was kind
mean,
of disappointed when it wasn't. Because
I
I mean, to me,
mean,
I really don't care.
No,
Like
I
if you
get it, but the only reason, I mean, I get the humor. I get why you would want it to be true, because if it was anywhere but a school, I would have wanted it to be true too, just because it's hilarious.
yeah,
But we get shit. I'm a teacher. We get shit on for so much.
that's true.
And for that matter, when you start targeting already picked on groups of kids,
Hmm.
just fuck you.
Yeah.
Just fuck you.
But dude, I mean, that's been American society since I was
I
a kid.
know, but I don't know if I remember a time where politicians picked on kids as much as they do now.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, politicians did not bring up kids. That
They
was
they,
always
they,
off limits.
they decided that trans kids were fair game.
Yeah,
The trans kids were fair game, and let's have at it. And it's
yeah,
like, really? They're fucking kids. Swing at somebody your own size.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Um, I do want to talk about another of this actually might be my favorite of your books, period.
Oh, thank you.
As much as I love all of your stuff. Click, click, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I just I love odd pairings. I love um kind of weird heroes.
Hmm.
Did you ever see the movie Baby Driver?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been able to watch it again because of Spacey, and I just can't.
Yeah.
I want to. I keep wanting to, particularly because he's got such a small role. But it had that feel of that autistic, mildly disabled, but also putting complete paid to the idea that disabled actually means that you're unable to do amazing things. There's just specific things you can't do.
Right.
Um, I adored this character.
Awesome.
Um, I loved your pacing. I meant to reread it today, and I wound up like actually helping to help students. So sorry.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll
so,
forgive you since you were doing your
sorry,
job and helping
sorry,
kids.
not sorry. I was actually teaching children. They wanted help.
Uh,
They couldn't just learn on their own. Um, it's the cliche questions, but I'm going to ask it again anyway. Where'd this one come from?
this one, again, you never know where the muses are going to
Right.
to approach you. And I was actually at a San Diego Comic-Con, and I just happened upon a picture of a lady like possibly asleep in a bed in a dive hotel surrounded by Polaroid pictures.
Okay.
And my brain immediately went, here's a why? Like
Okay.
that's where the story started. It's like, why in this day and age would you be surrounded by Polaroid pictures? So then my brain just started filling in the gaps, and I was like, "Oh, is this person alive or dead? Why would you use Polaroids?" And then your brain starts kind of making the connections. And I was like, "Well, maybe that's the only way this person knows how to communicate is through Polaroid pictures." And that's where Sprout, the character, was born. Is that that's the only way she could possibly communicate?
I love it. And the idea to then pair her with this aging, what, ex Navy SEAL, ex Army Ranger,
Oh
whatever,
yeah, the her
ex
grandfather. Yeah,
badass
yeah.
who teaches her to be a badass. I mean, how
Well, for that part of it, that actually, comes from life experience with me. So my dad was in the army for 13 years,
okay,
and a lot of his friends and a lot of the friends that I met even past that were all in Vietnam.
okay.
And so he's based on a kind of like a conglomeration of a lot of those characters I met, where you met these wonderful human beings that were so damaged from the
Right.
war. And I mean, I took a scene right from, three of my friends and I were walking through the woods with one of these guys. And back in those days, like a lot of the Vietnam vets who had severe PTSD, which, of course, they didn't know at that point what it
They
was.
they hadn't even really named it yet. It
No.
was it
Well,
was it was somewhere between shell shock and PTSD at that point.
yeah. They carried weapons with them everywhere because they would slip in and out of Vietnam
Mhm.
constantly. And this guy did that all the time. And we were walking through the woods and he immediately stopped and you could hear the click of the safety on his rifle go off. And he did the whole hand sign like
Right,
he was in Vietnam.
right,
And all we were teenage boys and we were all terrified and excited at the same time
right.
because you're terrified like what if he thinks I'm the Viet Cong? Like, you're like, oh no, like this could go horribly bad. But at the same time, like we realized like he thought we were part of his team, but it was still terrifying. And so like when you're living those kind of moments on a regular basis as a kid with, dealing with a lot of the Vietnam vets, like I said, he was a wonderful human being, but man, like that, he was back in the war.
See, I was lucky enough to never have weapons involved. And most of my vets were World War II vets,
Hmm.
but they also had dementia
Oh yeah.
because I ran dementia units. I once had a guy stalk me from his closet.
Hmm.
He was hiding in his closet, watching for whatever he thought I was. I
Yeah.
came in and then snap out of it, like,
Oh yeah.
just snap in, snap out, you
Yeah.
know. And that generation, like, I mean, the Vietnam vets didn't like to talk about it a
Oh
lot
no.
either, but that generation didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew so many families that they're like, it was in the dimension that they'd learn all sorts of stuff about their dad, and it's like
Mhm.
we had no idea. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew he'd been gone for 2 years, but we he showed us pictures of smiling people in Paris.
Hmm.
You know, um, I mean that's and I love that there are people like you who deal with it in fiction and a safe way to be able to talk about it. But uh, it occurs to me every once in a while that my generation, maybe half a generation older than me, is the first generation of American males where most of us didn't go to war,
Yeah.
but we did introduce school shooters.
Well, yeah. Whole new form of violence and war. Really? I mean,
Well, and I mean, as I mean, I thank God I've never been in the room, but it's happened. Mass shootings have happened twice in communities that I'm part of.
hmm,
Twice have I known people in the room or on the street. Um, Twice have I known people who knew people who died.
hmm,
And the part that's most traumatic is that there's that period where you don't know anything.
yeah.
I mean, I remember how quickly they were, oh, it's not a terrorist thing and nobody died at the Super Bowl shooting. And I'm like, yeah, but it's been less than 3 hours and there are a million people there. What do you want to bet there are 5 million people in the world that don't know if their loved ones are alive yet?
Yeah.
you know? So, we have this nation that's built on trauma that we don't like to talk about at
Yeah.
all. So I appreciate it and to a certain extent, all of your comics have, or at least all of the ones we've talked about here, have that baked in element of dealing with trauma or somebody. I mean, she's dealing with trauma too.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, is that? I mean, I didn't mean to go all deep and philosophical because you are such a funny guy and I like it way more when we just laugh together. But is that is that something that goes in intentionally, or is that just such a part of our world that when you're story building, it just finds its way there?
It just, I mean, honestly, you kind of go where, and I always use the muses because, that's like, it's not explainable to me. It
Okay,
just kind of like the story kind of goes where it goes. And then when you invent a character and, you're kind of going, okay, well, how did Sprout stay off the grid her entire life? How does she not have a birth certificate? How does she not have a fingerprint anywhere?
right,
And, you're like, oh, well, she was raised out in the middle of nowhere, okay, well, who would raise her out in the middle of nowhere and never show her a TV show? And so like you start, and then that character kind of comes in my head, and I go, oh, wait a minute, I've met this person, or multiple, at least traits
right,
of that person, and you start putting them together, and then you fall in love with them because I love grandfather, I love
right.
grandpa in this one,
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, yeah, I hope I can get across my experience as a teenager, almost like Sprout in the story of growing up with someone like this and loving them with your whole heart, knowing at any point, just like you said, they could snap in and out of reality.
right,
But you still love, and there's still a good person there, and they know they
yeah,
do it, but they might not speak about it.
right.
And so I wanted to kind of capture that and like throw that in that story so that like you kind of got this new perspective on, yeah, I mean, uh, what's a good role model for, what's a good male role model?
Right.
And I think people will be like, well, wait a minute, this guy like snaps and like he might kill somebody. And you're like, yeah, I mean, that's what I grew up with, but like that doesn't mean the person underneath that isn't a wonderful person. It's
Right.
just they were in the Vietnam War or they were in a school shooting or they were in World War II where they saw things that their brain can't handle.
Right. Right.
And it's a thing.
It's
I
not
hate
just a
the word.
thing. It's a really common thing.
Right. I'm not saying disease, but there's definitely like it does something to the brain because I saw it too
Yeah.
many times in too many
Yeah,
people.
no, I mean, we don't have the right words for it yet. Disease or illness is probably better than almost anything else, but because
Hmm.
it's not communicable
Right.
and it's not really curable. I
No.
mean, it's manageable,
Hmm.
you know. They've done some interesting things with various drugs that were not nearly far enough down the road to be able to, like, I've read a couple of the studies on they've been using what magic mushrooms,
Hmm.
um, and they've had some really promising results. So I hope that they continue doing research, but we're not nearly far enough away from
No.
getting those results to be able to say, oh yeah, it's the cure.
Yeah. No. I
And
agree
even
with
the
that.
people who are doing it are like, yeah, it's not as simple as just take the mushrooms. It's like we need to give you really specific doses, and then we're going to trigger the trauma in a really safe setting.
Yeah.
um, which I mean, even without the mushrooms, that's generally part of how you get better at coping with it. Is you come up with strategies and then you deliberately trigger it in a controlled setting,
Yeah.
and you work on applying the strategies. You know, um, I mean, the thing about mental health in general, the thing that I can't emphasize enough to people out there is that you don't get cured, you get better,
Yeah.
but that means that you've learned a set of processes and a set of warning signs that you know to watch for and exercise and whatever to continue to do better, but it's a never ending process, you
Hmm.
know. um like the worst thing you see is, oh, I was feeling better so I went off my meds. And I mean, that's like Ginsburg talking about the Civil Rights Act. Yeah, I have an umbrella and I'm not getting wet, so let me get rid of the umbrella.
Yep.
um which isn't to say that people shouldn't work to be better. I'm not. I mean, I spent a lot of time working to be better. I think I am most of the time, but I've been personally in some incredibly dark places in my life, self-inflicted for the most part.
Hmm.
I'm the example of you can grow up a life of privilege and still manage to fuck yourself up. um, but it's also, again, I think one of the biggest differences between comic books today and comic books 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 50 years ago is the level of emotion, the level of honest
Hmm.
emotion that gets dealt with.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, even when you're talking like the old undergrounds, they would do all sorts of stuff you couldn't do in your Archie comics or in your Marvel or DC comics, but they didn't actually deal with like the stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the boobs. It's like, yes, but um and I like that. I like that the medium has grown so much. Um and I like that you can make it so funny. That's a talent. Um so you're talking about how you build characters. Do characters normally come first and then plot? Or do they come together? Or
Um, Most of the time with me, my characters come first. At least the main character.
right.
And then the plot kind of builds around that story for them that I want to tell.
Now, does it come out as a plot, or I think Stephen King once described it as, I start with like one thing, one crazy off the wall thing, and I go, okay, how would my character respond? And I go from there, and eventually they'll run into another thing where I have to go, how would my character respond?
I mean, all writers do it a little bit differently. I know with me, I almost always have the beginning and the end in my head. Almost,
Okay.
I know where I know where I'm headed.
So
Um,
you have A and Z, and you're still figuring out B through Y.
yeah, I got to figure out how to connect A to Z. like in what
No,
direction.
that's pretty common too.
Yeah. And so
I'm
that,
the reverse. I often figure out like B to Y and never figure out A to Z, and that's or A or Z, and that's probably why I've never published anything.
yeah, I mean, like I said, everybody's
Go figure. Readers want A and Z.
yeah, they want an ending, it's like, but yeah, I
I think
mean,
they'll forgive you. I think they'll forgive you not having Z more than they'll forgive you not having A.
huh. I would argue that I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I can put up with a bad movie as long as it has a good ending, but I can't
Okay.
put up with a bad movie if it doesn't have a good ending. If it has a horrible ending, I'm mad. If it doesn't come
I
full
can go with
circle.
that. I can go with
Yeah.
that.
But that's me.
I guess it's got to be at least an either or.
Hmm.
Because I think for me, like if it's got a bad ending, that's a whole different thing.
Hmm.
But there are good endings and there are just endings.
Yeah.
And endings can be not completely satisfying, but
Hmm.
that's when I remind myself that life is long and
Yeah.
there aren't easy start and stop points.
Yeah.
But if it's got one of those unsatisfying endings, it had better have had like the hook to get me started. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'd better care enough to go, well, maybe this just means that they'll come back at another time.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more, like you're doing with plastic,
Yeah.
which I guess you're proving that you hadn't done the beginning yet, but I thought you had a beginning.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with the first one, I mean, that one was kind of like supposed to be the whole shebang. And when we started
Right.
talking about doing another one, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do something directly after it.
Right.
I love Edwin, so I want to keep playing
Right.
with Edwin. So it's like, hey, can
Right.
we go back, and kind of show his one of his earlier arcs in life.
Right. Um, so my other question, as I start to dig into the weeds with you, because like I know you well enough that I got to ask like the really weird questions. Do you think in words or pictures?
Say again?
Do you think in words or pictures?
Oh, I think in pictures.
You think in pictures.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think it's
uh,
hilarious how many writers think in pictures.
yeah. I see it in my
And every once in a while I'll talk to an artist that doesn't really see pictures in their head and it's like, no, that's why I draw.
yeah. I mean, for me, like especially when I'm plotting, I put
Okay.
on some type of soundtrack or whatever, and that usually drives a lot of the story for me. That
That's another good Doug Wagner book, Drive.
yeah. You
Just
mean Drive?
for those listening for the first time.
No, Drive is Matt Wagner.
That's right.
The
You're
Ride is Doug
right.
Wagner.
The Ride. I'm
Which,
sorry. Uh,
which, ironically, they both came out the same month.
did
Yes.
Oh, did you manage to outsell Matt Wagner? Because that would be awesome.
Dude, that's hard to say. That was 2004.
That's true.
So, I mean, now theirs was basically a commercial for BMW.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
then I
they
hope
had
so.
they had a sponsor. So they
I
better have,
hope so.
yeah.
I mean, Matt Wagner's awesome, but
Oh yeah.
still the BMW
Yeah.
comic shouldn't outsell the good one. Oh, okay. I might be out of questions, Doug,
Oh man.
which would be sad because I've got you for like 20 more
Oh
minutes.
yeah, you got me for 20.
That
Well,
that would be like weird for us.
yeah.
What have you
Go
been up
kind
to
of click,
lately?
click, boom. But
What?
uh, but you haven't touched on the little 10 pager we talked.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
just reread Good Boy. Talk to me about Good Boy.
So that one was an interesting one. Like Dinesh, it's a bad idea book.
Yep.
Dinesh and Josh at a good idea or bad idea met me at Emerald City Comic Con, and that's kind of like we hit it off there, and we started talking, and they're like, "Hey, here's a couple ideas. We want to start off with doing a backup story with you and see how that goes." And they pitched me a bunch of stuff, and they had a different story for this, but they basically the only thing I latched onto was Werewolf Baby. And so once I latched on to Werewolf Baby, I was like, yeah, I'm in. And so kind of just took that And I hadn't worked with Bad Idea or the artist or the colorist before this book, and the experience was phenomenal. I just got lucky on like a little 10-page story somehow had enough twists and turns that Bad Idea loved it enough to where they actually printed it as their own book instead of a backup.
I mean, did you, because this is an art question, one of
Yeah.
the things I love about, and did you wind up giving the baby a name?
Oh yeah, we named him after I'm pretty sure his name's Lon, after Lon Chaney,
Okay.
the guy that played the
So,
first werewolf on TV.
okay. So it is the most feline looking werewolf I've ever seen. Was that a deliberate decision to
Well,
be like right in between wolf and cat?
that was completely on the artist on that one. Like,
Okay.
I just had Baby Werewolf, so I don't try to drive too much of that because I want the artist to kind
No,
of
that's
like
fair.
themselves. And that was completely on him. He was like, "Hey, I
But
want
that
to."
is definitely one of the things that I very much enjoy is that it's, and who's the artist? Let me go. Do you remember?
Pretty sure.
Adam Polino.
Yeah, Adam Polina.
Yeah. Because there are places where it looks very wolf like,
Hmm.
and there are places where it looks very cat like.
Yeah.
and and I mean, like the first time you see it, it looks very cat-like. That's such a kitty,
Hmm.
big eyes.
Yep.
When it's in the bath and when it's eating, it's more wolf-like, but when it's sleeping, it's more cat-like.
And I think with Adam, he what I loved about that is he didn't necessarily make it act just like a wolf.
Right.
And I think that was a key to this, some of the success of the story is that visually it wasn't just your standard, here's a wolf.
So you also have some of the greatest one-liners I've seen, period, but certainly from you. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're good with the one-liners,
Yeah.
but what was it? Da, da, da.
It's only 10 pages, so it shouldn't be that hard to
I
find.
know, I should be able to just reread it. I'm looking for the line about pants. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
sure, there was some trouble getting it to wear pants, but can you blame it? You
That
know,
and
you
that
brought
honestly came
home.
out of the pandemic. It's
Yeah,
like everybody was talking about, hey, are you on a Zoom call not wearing pants?
right.
That's like,
I loved the I have to bond with it. So you've got the husband in the bat in the kiddie pool,
yeah.
and the husband eating without the spoons. Just so much fun.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, it was one of those things of like,
There's a talent to doing a 10-page comic. I mean,
yeah, they're
was
tough.
that have you done many of them? Was this a new experience? Was this
I've done a ton of like short, like 6 pagers. I've never done a 10
okay?
page before, but I've done a ton of 6 pagers, and I love them.
Okay.
Obviously you don't get much accolades for 6 pagers or even 10 pagers most of the time because they're just such a short, quick hit.
Hopefully that's starting to change. I know
Yeah,
that some of the Eisners have been noticing more of them.
yeah.
Um, actually, have you gotten to talk to Oni yet about their reboot of EC?
Oh no, yeah. I
Did you
mean,
get that?
I've seen the
Yeah,
advertisement for it. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
because and I love that they're not rebooting the actual books. They're rebooting new titles
Hmm.
in the theme.
Yes,
Um,
I love it.
and so I'm crossing my fingers for you, Doug, because you would do well on either side, the sci-fi or the horror. Um, and I know that they're already lining up some great people.
Yeah, yeah. They have
Now,
a
I don't know how many of them have been announced, so I have to be careful about talking
yes,
about it
exactly.
because
Yeah,
I've definitely talked to some people that I don't know if it's actually out there that they've written stories.
yeah. I'm in the same boat. Like, oh yeah, so and so told me they're working on that. But I
Right,
don't know if I'm sending that.
right.
Yeah, it's a
um, I mean, not that a lot of people are listening. Hi, Mom. Hi, John. But yeah, no, I like the short format. I like that we're starting to see a few more anthology comics come out.
Hmm.
For that matter, a couple times in the last. Did you read any of the Harley Quinn Black, White, and Redder?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my God. I am
Yeah.
not a Harley Quinn fan, and that became like necessary reading.
Hmm.
You know, the teams that they I mean, Kelly Thompson makes her DC debut and winds up not even being the best thing
Yeah.
of the six issues. She was great, but Kyle Starks and Chris Schweizer doing a Harley Quinn story, Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips doing a Harley Quinn story. I'm so pleased that people have finally gone, oh, let's try weird stuff. Um, so anything that you'd like to do, given the opportunity.
Oh, dude, there's so much. I mean, I just came back from a trip to Spain. Daniel Hilliard, the artist
Okay.
on, most of my books, he just got married, so I went over
Okay.
there for his wedding. Came back with four new ideas, which I'm like,
Excellent.
I don't know if I need any more because I've already got a backlog. But hey, it's better not
Do
having
you
any.
write one thing at a time or do you write multiple things at a time normally?
Usually I write at the most, I'm usually doing two, maybe three stories at the same time.
Okay.
But if I had my druthers, I would do just one at a time. There's just a certain focus that
Okay.
you can keep, and then
Oh,
tone.
absolutely.
Um,
It's another thing that it's always interesting to see different writers talk about it because like Bendis needs to be working on six things at once
right,
because he doesn't want to have to work on the story that he doesn't feel like on any given day.
right.
I've heard him describe this multiple times. I'm like, I don't know if I could handle that, but that's awesome for you. Whereas Brian K. Vaughan, when he talks about it, he's like, I hate it when I have to do more than one thing. So
Yeah,
he's like, the realities of the business are that I often do, but I hate it when I have to do more than one thing at a time.
yeah. I mean, but dude, like for me, I mean, obviously, I grew up with Uncanny X-Men. And I luckily I got to do one of the Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood.
Oh
And so
God. So now
they
I'm gonna have to go read a Marvel zombie book? Is that what
yep.
you're saying here?
Yep. And so I got to do like a really cool short story with Warpath and X-Force. So that was amazing because that's
Okay.
so that was kind of like a bucket list item. But man, honestly, like I love writing stories and any chance for me, I think, and I know Marvel and DC are probably gonna be like most of the time no on this, but like, man, give me a character that nobody wants and let me see if I can do something with them. That's always my
I mean,
favorite.
see, I mean, those are always the most fun.
Yeah,
I mean, who remembered Mr. Miracle until Tom King?
I know.
What's Kyle Starks doing right now? He's doing backup stories of I can't even remember the name of the character because he actually went from Peacemaker back a notch
Yeah,
in terms of in terms of the character that he's doing, and it's an actual old, Mark Russell did the one star squadron.
yeah,
Those are the most fun stories because you can do whatever the fuck you want.
yeah. I mean, for me, and do you get a chance to like, this is a pass fail kind of quiz, but like, do you do something with that, like what Tom King did with Mr. Miracle? Can you do something that makes the character now popular and loved
Right.
versus, like, oh, I mean, I think you could argue Deadpool, right? Deadpool in its initial stages was not what it is now.
I think it took Gale.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was good stuff before then, and I'm still not the world's biggest Deadpool fan. Uh, and for that reason, I don't know my Deadpool chronology enough. I know like
Right.
Joe Casey had a great run, and
Mhm.
there've been a number.
Fabian. Yep.
The one that finally made me go, oh, okay, I need to read Deadpool is David Lapham wrote for Kyle Baker,
Yeah.
the Deadpool Max. I'm like, oh, I have to read these, and then I'm like, oh, maybe Deadpool is cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can you take a character that Now Deadpool was pretty popular before he became kind of a jokester,
Right.
dimension breaking kind of character. But can you take a character? I mean, Peacemaker is a perfect example. Like
Yeah.
Peacemaker was nothing until the TV show kind
Right.
of revamped it. And that's the kind of chance I would love to get with a Marvel or DC character. Like, I mean, obviously would I like to write X-Men, of course, but like you've seen the hitters
Well,
row they have on those books right now.
well,
So I
well,
know that's not.
I'll tell you right now. Here's what you do, because like there are two heavyweights in terms of comics podcasts. It's Word Balloon and it's off off panel.
Mhm.
David Harper. David Harper, massive Stiltman fan. So start pitching your Stiltman stories
Hey,
because
okay.
you can make it clear we at least will have the publicity.
Yeah.
And because I imagine you'd have a good Stiltman story in you.
Oh yeah, all characters have a good story in them. It's just trying to uncover.
I mean, I think the more ridiculous they are, the more likely they are to
Yeah.
have a good story in them if you look for it.
Yep.
Finding it is kind of difficult
Oh yeah, for
sometimes,
sure.
but that's why you guys get paid the big bucks. And by big bucks, I mean that they
They pay us
will
sometimes.
validate your parking.
Yeah.
That's what you work for, right? Parking validation.
Yeah, some sort of validation.
Um, I'm sorry, I'm having to remember. Okay, that's what it is. Wild Dog. Do you remember Wild
Oh
Dog?
yeah, it's been a
That
long time, but yeah.
that's what Kyle Starks has been doing in Batman Brave and the Bold lately.
Huh.
And really, really well,
Oh,
because
I'm sure. Yeah,
that's what Kyle
Kyle.
does.
Yeah.
But I had to remember because I'm like, see, I have like this list, and it's like half, and I'm waiting for you to wind up doing this because I'm certain that you will someday, of like the books that I've read only because I love and or have personal relationships with the writers of them.
Hmm.
And it's like when I talked to Ram V, the first time it was like, and you're about to do Aquaman and Venom, so now I have to read Aquaman and Venom. It's like, well,
Yeah.
you don't have to. And I'm like, no, you're writing them. I have to
I
read
have to. Yeah.
Aquaman and Venom. But seriously, Aquaman and Venom. Kelly Thompson's about to start doing a G.I. Joe book. What?
Yep.
So, yeah, one day I can just see it. Doug Wagner will suddenly be doing Power Rangers, and I'll say, Doug, how dare you? He's
Yeah.
never ever going to read a Power Rangers book.
Yeah. I said, you can hope. Yeah. You get the chance, and maybe if I have the right, inclination, it's like, hey, one of those My Little Ponies has a good story.
Here's I still haven't read a My Little Pony comic. Though I hope that Ted Anderson and Tony Fleeks aren't listening right now because because they've both done My Little Pony comics, and I am certain that if they've done My Little Pony comics, they're good My Little Pony
Oh yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
Tony actually said pony cons are great. He likes them better than comic cons.
Huh.
It's like all the cool parts and none of the toxicity.
Nice.
So there you go, Doug. Maybe you need to
Yeah, get into the pony cons. I can tell you,
get into
like,
PonyCon.
one of the things about plush was that I have been to a few furry cons, and
Okay.
and again they are very similar, at least from
Yeah,
my
from what I've
experience.
heard. I've never
Yeah,
been to one, but again, I know some furries. They're
yeah,
incredibly nice people.
very accepting, very helpful, very like, hey, we're all here just having a good time.
I mean, one of the things that people don't seem to understand about the nerds of the world is we get that we're weird, and that's why we're accepting of other people being weird.
Yeah,
Because it's like, okay, and
yeah. Like I don't care.
Okay. And oh, you were in a Legends of the Dark Knight?
Yeah, I did Legends of the Dark Knight. Yeah,
That was
back
a long time
when it
ago.
was, yeah, that was first it came out online.
Okay.
Then they reprinted, then they'd, well, I say reprint, then they'd print it, a couple of
Okay.
months later.
Stuff to go dig up now. It's just every once in a while, I'll pull up the League of Comic Geeks page while I'm talking. Arkham Origins too.
Yep, yeah, that one was pretty cool. There was a group of us on that one because it's a choose your own adventure
Oh,
graphic.
choose your own adventure.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. So like each writer would kind of have like their own segment of like, okay, we're going to start here, and then you're assigned this timeline, and
Okay.
to figure out, where this is going to go. And so that was actually a lot of fun.
That they actually have a couple of them out already, but one coming out next month, I think. The third choose your own adventure, like based on the old series.
Mhm.
Um, and the new one's Stephanie Phillips wrote it.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm like, wow, we're going like legit now. Dr. Phillips is in the house.
Yep.
So Doug, where can we find you this year? You have any conventions on the horizon?
I'm just doing three this year, I think. So I'm doing Heroes Con,
Okay.
and then I'm doing San Diego Comic Con. I'll actually be tabling there this year.
Oh wow.
And then doing Wasatch Comic Con, which is a little 2-day con here that I love going to. That's a local show.
Local is Salt Lake area.
Salt Lake City. Yep.
Okay. Well, if you need somebody to be at your table at San Diego and you can arrange to get me in, I will totally help you sell merchandise. Um, I don't know if I'll make it to Heroes. I was gonna go to Heroes, but I think I'm gonna have a family thing this year. So
Have you not been to a Heroes Con
I
yet?
haven't been to a Heroes Con yet.
Heroes
See,
Con and Baltimore Con. If you're
and I
looking
haven't been to
for,
Baltimore yet either. Those are
dude, you
both
got to, yeah,
those two and Portland's Rose City, right?
Rose City. Yep.
Yeah, those are probably the three top of my list.
Yeah. And Rose City's getting better every year. I did Rose City last
Well,
year.
and
He's
my
getting better
brother
every
lives in Portland, and I
year.
mean, you would hope that Rose City would get better every year, just because like it's the nexus of comic books these days.
Yeah. It
Feels
is.
like half the people I talk to are in Portland
Yeah.
area.
But yeah, I mean,
um,
if you're looking for two like straight up comic book shows that are just about comics, Heroes Con in Baltimore,
well, and
you can't.
that's I prefer. I mean, for years I shied away from them in general because I don't like big crowds.
Mhm.
For that matter, I've told it a few times on the air, so I might as well tell you and be embarrassed. I went to San Diego in like I think it was 97 or 98,
Yeah.
right before Kevin Smith started writing Daredevil. He
Mhm.
was actually like the biggest guest there backing up Chasing Amy,
Yeah.
right? So it was before San Diego became San Diego. Um, but for whatever reason, I had it in my head that Artist Alley was professionals only.
Yeah.
That it was like where you guys went to network and then you
Mhm.
didn't want to be bothered. So I didn't go to Artist Alley.
Oh no.
I didn't really realize that Artist Alley was a place that plebeians were welcomed until much later.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
So I didn't really go to cons because dealing with that many people in that big of a space just to buy comics or whatnot just didn't feel that cool. Um, but when I learned that Artist Alley was a place that you could go and talk to people and meet people and whatnot, that changed the whole dynamic. So now it's just, my favorite cons are the ones that I can do that and avoid the rest the most,
Yeah.
you know. And or where I happen to know, I mean, one of the reasons I was able to do C2E2 even with a concussion is like I know 17 people tabling.
Yeah.
I have people to hang out with, hide out with.
And dude, like, I mean, like I was about to bring up the fact that like, well, wait a minute, the last time I saw you was at one of the busiest cons I've been
Right.
to in a while.
Right.
Heroes in Baltimore aren't typically that crowded, as
Well,
far as
that makes it the one that I fell in love with, the one that I'm hoping to do again this year. I'm hoping to do every year. You ever done Comics Crossroads?
no.
Oh my God.
Where's that at?
Columbus,
Okay.
Columbus.
Yep.
It's Jeff Smith and Tom Spurgeon's con.
Huh.
I mean, Tom passed away, but it's completely free to the public.
Wow.
The tabling is at the public library, as are most of the panels. There are some panels and some events at the Billy Ireland Comic Museum. There are tours of the Billy Ireland Museum every hour on the hour. I think Saturday and Sunday, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's the only con I've ever been to where the after parties are on the schedule, so you know where to.
Nice.
You know, I mean, I karaoke with um Nate Powell and Chris Schweizer and Matt Bors and
Oh, that's
Ben
awesome.
Passmore. You know, I was at a comic reading with Dennis Kitchen and Nate Powell, and you know, um, I got to hang out with Shelley and Philip Bond, just because it. And for that matter, Raina Telgemeier was there this year, and Dan Klaus. you know, I mean, the it's the only con I've ever been to that runs the gamut from um like I made my comic at Kinko's
Yeah.
to Dennis Kitchen, Dan Klaus, Raina Telgemeier, P. Craig Russell was there, that sort of thing. I don't think they court the superhero crowd, but I don't think they turn them away.
Right.
Um, and pretty much everybody else, absolutely.
That's why I'm kind of surprised and like I desperately want you now to go to Heroes Con because if you've seen their
No,
guests,
I've talked to people down there, and it's way high on my list. I
yeah,
just
I
don't
mean,
think it's going to wind up being this summer because I got a family thing going on that weekend, and of course it had to be that weekend, the
of
one
course,
weekend of the summer that I wanted to be going the other direction.
because I mean,
But
Sheldon, the guy that puts it on, and his crew, like they always seem to get like a list of everybody from, honestly, it's like all the way back to the
yeah,
60s and 70s to
no,
current.
my ill-advised comic shop tour was the March before they came back after the pandemic. So they were in full on getting prepared mode, which is why I didn't get to talk to quite as many people as I would have liked to at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find.
Right.
I'd hoped to be able to talk to Sheldon and whatnot while I was there. Um, but I get to talk to enough staff to know exactly, how they treated it.
Yeah.
And it's like way high on my list.
I'm
Um,
just looking at the list now, and dude, it's just so insane.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Do I
It's
even want to look?
let's see I mean, yeah, just I mean, it goes on and on and on. They had a huge like, but I mean, it's obviously Kyle Starks is there, Matt Kent,
Yep. Ah,
just
that's
Charles
awesome.
Bath, you know, it's
Oh,
I mean,
Vess is going to be there?
yeah,
Uh,
and then you get to a lot of the older school folks like Lee Weeks and
I met
uh,
Lee Weeks he was at C2E2
yeah,
not last year, but the year before.
Gene Ha is going to be there. People like you
Gene
don't.
Ha is local to me.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Not fair to me.
So I've met Gene Ha at Challengers Comics,
Nice.
which if you haven't been to Challengers, hit Challengers the next time you're in Chicago because it's pretty amazing. And they'll let you draw on their wall.
Hmm.
Well, you're not an artist, so maybe not. But if you come with
Yeah.
an artist, your artist will be allowed to draw. They'll let you
Okay.
autograph their wall.
I'll be sure to bring an artist with me.
As a writer, they'll let you autograph their wall.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
swear to God, if they ever have to move, it'll make me cry because, where most stores have like their Challengers really doesn't do back issues. They
Hmm.
certainly don't do like high end back issues. Their back issues are we took them off the wall and marked them off half price. They're over there.
Yeah.
Um, so their wall behind the counter is like this big white wall that any artist that they have come in to do a signing, they have draw on the wall. So we just brought up Matt Kent. There is a Henry Lime on the wall.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
Raina Telgemeier has drawn on the wall twice because they had her back a second time because the first time she came, nobody showed up. But the third time she came to Chicago, it was at the United Center. So that's where they were in the United in the Raina Telgemeier sweepstakes. The first time she came, nobody knew who she was. The second time she came, they had a decent audience. And the third time she came to town, she was way too big for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this list looks amazing.
Yeah. So you need to make it at some point. You need to
I'm
make it.
certain I will. Do you go out? Do you try to go every year, or is
I
that
try to. Yeah. I haven't been able to make it the past couple of years, but luckily they were willing to have me back again
the
this
Peonies will
year.
be there too?
Yeah. It's a, like I said, I mean, dude, it's like the murderer's row
Yeah.
of Comic-Con Artist Alley. Like it's just, I could go just as a fan and spend every
St-
minute just going and
Ster-
talking to the creator.
Steranko's going to be there. Oh,
Oh
that's going to
yeah.
be awesome. Uh, for a second there, and it turns out tables are to be determined, but because in alphabetical order, he comes right after a friend of yours. I'm sitting there trying to imagine Stelfreeze and Steranko at booths next to each other. Oh, well, Doug, it's always been fun. Hang out for a minute with me after
Yeah,
I take us
dude.
out, but I know you got to run. So for 22 panels, this has been Doug Wagner. Pick up the upcoming plastic
Death and
Death
Dolls.
and Dolls. Do we have a June 12th? So we'll
Yep.
probably even have almost a month to order it.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee it will be absolutely worth the read. Doug always is. It has been a pleasure as always, and we will see you after the next page.
All right, dude. Thanks.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22 Panels Podcast.